So here I am going live. Hello, everybody. Looking very much forward to seeing you today in this live video. And if you think there is something missing, so you might be very, very true because Peter is missing. So he is out today with a very, very important client conversation. And sometimes we are our most important clients and we are not giving it credit. So, therefore, wishing you all the best, dear Peter. Looking forward to seeing you soon. And so, I'm going to host this today here on my own. So, the idea is today to give you the best that I can give you, of course, here with this session of like going live with also talking about how to produce videos with confidence. So, as you have heard in the last sessions that we did, was that I am an absolute happy clappy proponent of going live through video. And so this is like one of the glitches that can happen, but it's live. And so if you hear me, if you see me right now, I would be thrilled to get your feedback in this regard, because that I can go and see where you are turning in from. It's wonderful if you see this live now. Is if because you have gotten a notification, maybe you have even registered for the event. It is absolutely wonderful, and I am super happy that you are taking your lunch break, spending with me probably, or your morning break. So what is the subject of today? So that absolutely is to go with this topic here. So the idea is video marketing success to make you ready for 2024. So we know it's right around the corner, and we said we also said last week, I loved it, about this idea like, okay, what is the biggest escape phrase that you can say when not producing live video or going with video marketing? It's this: do it another year. So this is not possible with me today, so I am helping you to get started even in 2023, I promise. And this is what I have prepared. The idea of doing video and using video is, well, not an old is not a new thing, but it is more and more like a nice addition to your marketing mix, because videos are most effective. As you can see, video is most effective because viewers retain the information from video much better. It's like if you show somebody a video and then ask later on, okay, what did you see, what was the person speaking about? It's clear the video is going to win, because it is just more attractive. It brings in more senses, the eye, the ear, that you're going in more emotionally than you would probably do when like just seeing an ad on the billboard. But everything is possible, of course. And of course, it is also super important to do your other marketing mix, write a social media post, of course. But then there is also this idea that video posts have more views because they are just more attractive. It's this idea of seeing like the scroll stopper. We talked about that the last week, that well, people just have 8 seconds of an attention span if they are scrolling through their feed on the social networks. So it has to stick, it has to make them stop. And hopefully you're also stopping if you're seeing the video right now. And then it just creates more engagement. Video has more shares than text and image combined. So this is something where you should consider and say, all right, let's take it as a video. Let's go for it and use my videos and also repurpose them. So this is the repurposing, well, cascade that I introduced last week. It's my repurposing strategy, and you can also say it's the live strategy I'm using. So start with going on a live video and then do a social media post with it. with a kind of best outtake of like really emotional thing that you have done, great thing that you have landed in the live video. Use it, and then do story formats out of it, do reel formats out of it, do maybe an audio podcast like I did from last week's live video with Peter. Put it, of course, on as a YouTube video if it's not already streamed. Well, make a short edit and put it on, and then you can also use it as a blog post for your website, of course. And that's all so valuable. Let me just quickly readjust the slide here so it's really nice in center, so you don't think something's wrong with your point of view. Yeah, so that's the repurposing strategy, and also in a bigger idea, the life strategy. And so let me just come back to you quickly, because, you know, I have a little story to tell. So we here in Geneva, Switzerland, which is a beautiful city and where you have so many possibilities to get the nicest new luxury stuff, of course. But the cool thing is there is also these, at the side of the street, these little boxes where people can leave their stuff that they don't need anymore. So it's called, well, an exchange box, we say to it. And it's a nice thing because, like, you know, especially with children's stuff. So sometimes children don't want to play with stuff anymore. So you don't want to do a yard sale or like open garage sale all the time. So you just put it there. And so you are relieved. So what happened this week was that I found this suitcase, and I immediately knew what it was. This black suitcase with a black plastic suitcase, and I knew this was the thing my father used. It was a typewriter, a typewriting machine. And so I brought it home. We discovered it together with the kids. It was a wonderful experience. Kids sort of asked, okay, where's the screen for it? So it was basically just the type, and I showed them how it works. So we were talking about the pros and cons of like the typewriter, and how great, how revolutionary the typewriter was at the time 100 years ago. And the thing that I came up with immediately was, you know what, a big advantage of the typewriter was you cannot go back. That means you have to be all in the moment. You have to write. So you had just also a limited amount of sheets, and you didn't want to start all over. Of course, there was this kind of fixing possibility with white color. And but okay, so you wanted to do this really in a concentrated way. And this is what I referred to last week when I said there's also a delusion of technology that we are facing these days, when we think, okay, it wasn't okay, or let's do it better. So I can still wait. Let's do the website another time. It's not perfect. I don't know the marketing mix and whatever. What I want to say is it's the same thing with video. In video, you have the possibility now to do it over and over again. And if you see old recordings of people that knew, okay, what was it called? The Polaroid film, or the camera is moving and there's only 60 seconds or whatever, 3 minutes to do it. They were quite in a, well, maybe stress, also very super high concentrated. And that, of course, you don't have today anymore. So you have the possibility to do it over and over again, especially with video. But what happens is also, I would say, a self-defeating mechanism, that you can do it theoretically all the time, and you should be there in your best, but you aren't. And then you are absent, you do something else. And so you do it over and over again. And so it wasn't good the first time, or you made a little hiccup. And then you think, maybe I do it another time. And then you have 20 versions of the same things you said, and you don't know which was the best. And this happens to me, this happens to others. And this is why I am absolutely going for the live approach, to say, okay, I'm jumping in right now. So you have to live with it, with the imperfectionism of the moment. But on the other hand, also, it's the perfect moment, because if you're writing, right now. And if you're leaving me a comment, we are also in the in connection, and we are doing here an interactive session. So that's the idea of repurposing video. And so something that really happened to me yesterday, and so this is why I'm giving this lukewarm for you. So we talked about all the things about video, and so you might have something really important, so you are positioned in the best way, so you know exactly what audience you're going for. But video, and especially short video, oh, I'm too old for it. You can say TikTok, you can say YouTube, the whole thing. The idea is, however, this is your comfort zone. And if you would like to reach people, you might try to go for them, to reach out for them in in the supermarket, in the, whatever, outside during a walk or whatever, at the hotel lobby. But it's very difficult to talk to people like that, and also to make them, like, give them the impression of what you're doing. So therefore, video and reaching out through the social networks is a given. So there is no way around. It's just the idea to dive in right now. And I would like to help you now to make the best impression right now with the technology you have, no extra stuff needed. And here are my tips for you how you can make your video the best that is possible and do it in a very short time. Let's jump right in. Here are my tips. First, this here is the setup of your potential camera scene. This is a studio, and it can be like this. It doesn't have to be like it. Some people have a large room so they can do it. Some people have a little bit less of space, but in principle, it's like this. You have a camera in front of you, eye level, and some lights in the back and in the left and the right, maybe also coming from above. So this is the absolute normal setup. And I would say, if you already have a webcam, this just takes a little effort, 20%, and you have a large impact to just arrange something a little bit differently, that you also have a background. We will come to the background later, and the light, that everything is kind of and your face is well lit. So this also in the way that the camera is right in front of you. So a better image you can achieve through many things. First, be aware of the background glare. So if you're doing a live, or if you're doing a video right in front of a very highly lit, like window, or something that's very bright. So this is something most digital cameras do not handle so well, because they think, okay, they have to adjust you, and so you become dark. Then also in this picture, the lens is not really cleaned well, so that makes an additional bad impression on the picture. Here is the question about the positioning. So you have maybe a laptop, you might have a pad, but think of it that, like, people are looking to you from eye to eye in a direct, straight way. So therefore, you have to move your iPhone or your iPad, your pad in general, and your computer up. And there are many possibilities to do that. The quality of the live or the video that you're streaming is really something to consider. If you are using a Wi-Fi connection, but your router, that's the thing that sends the signal out and connects it to the World Wide Web, is, some 100 meters away. So you cannot expect to have a high transfer quality. So the signal is getting lower, and therefore your quality of video is getting lower as well. So therefore, be aware that you have a data cable connected if you're going live. So then the dirty lens, I think that is probably 80% of all the video mistakes that can be avoided. So use a lens, or that just quickly clean up your lens. And so you will also have this done. So better image. So this is like my top tips for you to take away. So clean lens, upload speed, camera on eye level, evenly light, even lighting in the background. And yeah, of course, it is not hurting if you have like a modern webcam and not a webcam from 2004 where you thought it was the best thing to have 640 pixel as a resolution. So the current pixel resolution is 1920 by 1080 pixel. That's called full HD. And even if Zoom is not allowing full HD, but just like a diluted way of HD and sometimes even a worse quality, I would never go below that, because for the next years to come, if you produce video content, the higher the better. And therefore you should not go below this threshold of 1920 pixels. Minimum, like I would say 1240, the HD pixel perspective. Okay. And so here we go with some examples that I found and I'm just using. So this is the question of the background. So if you have a background that has kind of a very fragmented view of your what you have in the back, this is not the thing that you should. This is absolutely to how do you say to this is to consider it differently, say it like this. So if you have a background that is leaving people to watch, okay, what are you reading, what's the picture behind, this is distracting people from what you have to say. So therefore make it different, so make it clean up. And so you can also put in well, make it kind of evenly, like maybe something that is work related in the back, make it clean, clear cut, complementary. And so there are possibilities to help you around if you don't have a lot of, well, fancy stuff, that you don't have fancy stuff, or like not a very nice wall, or also the wall is then too blank. People are always asking me, so hey Daniel, what is that background that you are using? And I didn't call in for mentions here to do the wall differently. It is just a picture poster, 3 meter by 2 meter. It was the first one I ordered. Later on, I ordered so many more, but this one stayed because it was just the best. It was not too bright, it was not too boring. And this is how it looks like these days. So now you see a little bit the wrinkles in the back. So the better I am using my camera lens, so the more I have like a blurry effect on it. But, if you want to have the address or like a distributor where you can get this from, let me know. I'm sending you some of the possibilities. And use your favorite colors, use something that is a little bit abstract. But in this regard, you are also avoiding the absolutely unfavorable, like the virtual background that Zoom is using, and that always looks really, really disturbing to me, because I think, well, what do the people have to hide? You at least sort of they hide their ears or their lens or their glasses, because you can't see where their full face. And so therefore just make it like your curated corner, that you look well in the way you do, so you don't have to show too much of your private setup. Just do it as a corner. And so then if you are going live, even if you do a Zoom call, always do it from there. All right. And that is like my word for the weekend to avoid virtual backgrounds. The virtual background is, in principle, a nice idea, because you can put it as a, well, standardized background solution. For example, if you are working remotely for your company and the company has a standard background, everybody should use it. So then you use it, because you can do it from everywhere, from your home office, even from the office. But it is looking dirty, and it is rendering your face not very well. So therefore, I would absolutely not consider to do it, especially if you would like to convince people of your qualities as a, well, of your services in general, because people are asking, okay, why is that such a blurry picture? Why isn't it looking like crisp? And therefore, if you want to have a better, well, if you have a screen that is not the screen that is, or not the background, then use a green screen. These green screens are quite affordable, and so you can put them in the back, and so therefore the computer is rendering that much better than this kind of computized calculation of, is this your ear or not, so can I cut it out, or is this the hair? And so you will see a big difference. Okay, and here the bookshelf idea. So a lot of people think it is wise to buy a lot of books. I agree, but not because your bookshelf needs to be presented. So I don't want to know about like the secrets of love that is like in your bookshelf. I don't want to know about like any religious stuff. It is, especially if you're a priest, or if this is your business. I want your expertise, and so everything that could dilute from it, or that could also question. Okay, so what is that reading? What is this person reading? Also, if it's not, I would say. So right now is the Nobel Prize season is starting. So if it's not a book by a certified Nobel Prize peace winner, leave it. Or if it's not your own book, then leave it. Because like I want some clear idea what you have to say, not sort of what you have presumably read or not read. So this was especially now done for TikTok, because I will use this. So here the rise of the credibility bookcase. It said, like, especially in the times of Corona, COVID, that so many people bought books just to have a lot of books behind. But if you see this guy here, so I wouldn't find it like very attractive, especially with the bike helmet in the back. All right, and so your signature background, so create it. So create something that you really like, that stands for you. Of course, I'm also wondering when I'm going to use another wallpaper soon, but it's coming. But still, for the way to go, you can do so many nice things, like either with a wall pattern, also with a little bit of colored background that you can just, well, yeah, if you have a weekend to spend and a little bit money for the color, so go for a separate color, or just buy a spotlight, an LED spotlight, especially where you can change the light and the color. So you can, well, do miraculous things with the kind of lighting that's always possible. And especially with some spotlights. Good Lord. So that we are here now. And so this is one of my first slides that I presented to my work that time, my employment. That, okay, so let's do a curated video with the logo on, with some additional information. Of course, you can also do it like I do right now, like here, that I have a normal video, but I have some additional elements on it. For example, here, the name. Then I have some color elements, and that is just beautiful to see, I would say. Or at least, if even if it's not beautiful to look at least so people have an idea of your look and feel, and they are able to recognize you from the start, that this is something to watch for, and is something especially related to you, to your brand. Here we have the idea of lighting. So always, if so, too low light is not good. Then too much highlight from one of the ideas, it's also not good. So you see it especially here from this side, so where I have the window open, I should actually, in an ideal world, now shut down the window blinds a little bit to even it out. So you see, even my image is not perfect, but at least I'm aware of it, And here we go for the fix of this situation. This guy has now a light background, well lit. The ideal light temperature is 5,315 Kelvin, 50 Kelvin. Avoid too much bright lights in the background, and also no shadows from any place. That you have like this kind of shadowish look, sort of the one part of the face is like absolutely lit and the other one is not lit. So at least if you're not doing a crime movie, so I think it's not considerable. Okay, so you know what? I have a news for you. So the whole thing that we did about the technology and how to do it in a really professional way, forget it. So it is not about the technology. The technology is just 5%, maybe 10%. And you know what? Who said this? Nobody else than Richard Branson, who I was listening to yesterday, as like his one of his closest people working with him. This is a guy who made millions on ClickFunnels, and that was just amazing to hear what also these multimillionaires have to say. And this guy said, well, you can also use the technology is great, but if you're not in line with the technology, if there is not the energy with it, forget it, it will not work. So you can make advertisement and fire up a lot of money, but it won't work if it's not in line, and people will receive the message, people see everything, people get the idea. So therefore, get away of this idea that this is necessarily the technology. And I wanted to quickly ask, so do you agree to that? But if it's not the technology, what is it? I have something here for you. It's the confidence in your abilities. It's the confidence in your way to present things. And I have 8 points here that I would call the self-confidence formula. And it was done in a way that we can quickly talk about these points. And let me just show you, I'll talk about the first point, the definitiveness of purpose. Let me just do it a little bit differently because I prepared this thing and it doesn't work. you know, and let's do it like this. Look, so let's create a little bit suspense here, even if it doesn't really look too well. And let's quickly change the slide. So this is live, as you can say and see. I will quickly change the style a little bit so nobody would ask any questions. So why is that green or whatever? So here we go again. So this is how I would like you to perceive it. So this is the self-confidence formula. And here I am, look. And so now we're doing that live. So, and I'm bringing myself to front and I'm walking you through the ideas of self-confidence that isn't that is the rest of the 5% of the 10% that you need to be convincing through video. The idea is to have a definitiveness of purpose. What does that mean? First, it's good to have a purpose, to have something that you really believe in, and so why you're doing it. And then also say, I'm only doing this. I'm only helping you to go live, to be visible, to feel good when you are on camera. So this is my purpose. What is your purpose? Next question or next point, find your why. So find your purpose. A lot of people think, okay, so purpose is just something for others. So, but what's your soul purpose? What is your plan? So why did you come here? So you don't have, so normally the harder you look for it, the less you find it. But it doesn't hurt to also dive into something that you feel passionate about and you really want to try out. And you maybe think for it for a very long time and you have never started. Why? Because maybe you're too afraid to do so. Fear, being afraid, is something that is nothing to be afraid of. It is absolutely part of the game to reach out for something that is higher than you. Includes fear. If you're not afraid, it's not a good goal. It's not you're not doing something worthwhile, like persisting and like waking up with energy. So therefore the question is how to manage fear, how to also chase the way the ghosts of the wrong fears, because certainly it is good to feel the fear and to do it anyways. Next part. So I'm getting here, I'm getting less and less here, um, space here. Rewriting your story. So what does it mean? So what story are you telling yourself all the time that is not helping your confidence? So hasn't been something not worked out in your life? I have a secret to you. This is 99% of all the people you meet, something that the life is different than they expect it to be, or it has been not working out this way. So, what is in for you? What can you do to use exactly this to change your story and rewrite your story, and also to change the perception of it? Because, the perspective is the way how we look at things. The perception is also how we want to look at things, and how we want, like the prism of the prism, like I mean, like the white light that you count into many different colors. You can decide, okay, would you like to see red, green, blue? Would I like to see the whole white spectrum? This is the perception. And then, well, the next point, letting go and forgive yourself. Because, yeah, how are we managing if things haven't been working out this way that we always thought? And that is something that gives you confidence as well. And now let me just erase that thing and talk about the last points of the self-image. So your new image, what does it mean? It's the self-image that you're creating. So on the one hand, rewriting your story that already includes that, and now we are going towards your new self-image, or how you would like to see it, how you are overriding programs that you have been working, like that have been working all the times, behaviors that you have always used, because you basically use them all the time. So you said it's not possible if somebody says, okay, let's do this or that. So says it's not possible. So this is a program. This is a behavioral thing. So you can create new behaviors, and also the, well, and grind, like ensemble, the togetherness, the collection of these new behaviors is a new image, how you see yourself and how you feel yourself. And then it is the question of, how do you attract new possibilities? How do you attract new relationships, also new business? That is how to use the law of attraction in your favor. And then how to use faith in not only believing that, oh, okay, I believe it's going to be better. It's not enough. It's to have faith to go to go into the direction that you would like to go, to pursue it in a faithful way. And that is the self-confidence formula. And that is something that I would like to introduce to you, that when it comes to being confident on camera, this is a big thing. And you know what? It could be, you might have seen me and see, okay, Daniel, so you're walking the talk, so you're always on, even if sometimes it wasn't perfect, but you were doing this live, and that's great. You could also say, but yeah, I don't want to go on camera, so there is something else I'm really, yeah, I'm really fighting with, basically. So that is the, where's my camera? Is it this is, yeah, this is, can be relationship related, this can be work related, this could be health related, in terms of, okay, how can, but it's another level too. The question is, how is, like, in these wild times, can you develop a new confidence that makes you reach out on camera with ease and pleasure, that makes you attract new relationships, new business with ease and pleasure. So the camera thing is just one precursor, one idea. If you are attracted by that, I can help you. I can help you with the technology, I can help you with the setup of the studio. But then the question is, there is more to it. It's certainly not the camera alone. I have a great example that I would like to share, and is, yeah, maybe it's really something that I looked for. Oops, yeah, this black screen here, that I've seen personally. I worked in a studio, and the studio was done by a businessman, and this businessman set up this whole TV studio that I was able to use, and I did a lot of interviews there. So I just fell in like, how do you say, like a beer that goes and has like all these honey pots around. So it was a great time. I had worked there. I was always asking myself, okay, so this person made the TV studio. Why isn't this person appearing itself? It's just an assumption, but I think it is stands for a lot, so that we are building up, like, with a lot of technology, our surrounding, and we want to appear well, and we want to do it perfect, and then we never do it. We procrastinate, we are not using it because we think we are not good enough, we don't have any confidence. And so therefore, I am telling you great news as of today. I am teaming up with the Napoleon Hill Institute. The Napoleon Hill Institute is the only place that has the right to teach the knowledge and the real, well, not the only place, but officially the only place that the teachings of Napoleon Hill, the number one, well, personal development author and coach that wrote this famous book, Think and Grow Rich, about 100 years ago. And Napoleon Hill, if you don't know the story, is the one who had been a journalist himself, has interviewed the richest man at the time, Andrew Carnegie, in the 1920s. So about 100 years from then, they got into a conversation. Carnegie found it was a clever guy, and he proposed him, Napoleon Hill, to interview the richest and most successful people of the time. And remember, we are 100 years from now. People were just starting to see cars on the street. The trains were coming like maybe 60 years earlier. We were on the brink of a modernization that people have not seen before. They were living in the villages, like the rise of cities, the rise of everything. So if you already think that right now we are in changing times because there is ChatGPT, yeah, think about the cars are coming, like invading like the space. You can travel everywhere. People, there are like factories existing. People are building high rises, and they can also call each other through a phone, or they can do wireless broadcasting. So this is the time when Napoleon Hill was born, and when he interviewed the most successful people of this era. And what he found is still valid today, because people that are successful have certain processes, certain thoughts, certain actions, behaviors that made them successful. And it was not, believe it or not, it was not the genes. So right now we are at this point where we know, okay, so I could be, in principle, if I would be born at the right place, I could be the king of England. But I wasn't born in this family, so therefore it's not the genes that makes him king of England or somebody else. So it is basically the genes that has that can develop into everything. So everybody has the same setup. So everybody can become successful. And so this is, of course, also the challenge of the time. So we have to optimize ourselves. We have to go for like more to really achieve more. And how can you do that? And that takes confidence, because of course we are in changing times and the work cultures or the workplaces are changing, the budgets are shifting, maybe the work that has been like really the super safe work is not safe anymore, ChatGPT takes over, but certainly it is not going back like this. And we know there are also opportunities in this, but how can we make them our own, and how can we also release the power and like find our purpose and well bring it into unity, into a unified energy. And so this is the idea of the self-confidence camp that I'm participating in with the Napoleon Hill Institute. The Napoleon Hill Institute is the only place that is officially well teaching the Napoleon Hill principles on success and is constantly developing new exciting new programs like the self-confidence formula. And let me just show you how this looks like. We are starting with the price already. This is the self-confidence camp here that I'm happy to share the 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 link with you and also the QR code. So this is an initiative by Cleona O'Hara from the institute. It is a great initiative that we this is her we are helping you for 8 weeks into new self-confidence. And this is a course that is already existing that has like especially these especially these ideas of having, let me just go quickly back, the definitiveness of purpose, finding your why, goes like being stronger than the ghost of fear, rewriting your story, letting go and forgive yourself and others, building a new self-image, using the idea of law and attraction. If you have heard it from, I don't know if you have heard it from Tony Robbins, if you have heard it from Bob Proctor, if you have heard it from any whatever person out there, the origin is Napoleon Hill, that already brought in this law of attraction, that there is more that you can attract. So this is where it comes from. And therefore, I am so proud and honored also to be at the source of this. And here is the self-confidence camp that I would strongly like, yeah, like invite you to. And we are starting as of now. It's really absolutely a new and a hot thing. And it's this new that I didn't even like create everything. So if you're interested in the self-confidence camp, so let me just type it in live. So this is the address. That this is first the, well, let's say the here the QR code that you find more information. And then I'm just giving you everything here, and I make it like, how do you say, I'm boiling hot here. So this is here this is the basically the web address that you can type in if you're interested in that. So you've already seen that there is a price tag on it, which is absolutely fair, super cool price for 8 weeks. And I just would like to invite you to that because I am going to take part in it as well. So I will be there and do weekly teaching calls for you for these principles. And these teaching calls include, on the one hand, the mindset principle. And you know, I've been with the Napoleon Hill in the way that I've always studied the principles, and I'm now enrolled as an ambassador of the Napoleon Hill Institute. But I have also started, well, 3 years ago with Bob Proctor, and Sandy Gallagher coaching. It's also Proctor Gallagher Institute. And so where these principles are the basis, of course, of the mindset teaching. So I have heard a lot and I would love to share it with you. But on the other hand, you see my passion also to help you reaching out with the highest energy out there and with live video. And so we are certainly doing that as well. And so this is like a combined teaching call that I am doing for all the questions that you have if you want to be reaching out more confident on camera, but also confident in your life. And if you are scanning in this QR code and if you want to participate, you can participate right away into this 8-week course. This is especially my link that connects you to connects you to me, and we will then work together because I have something that I would like to offer you if you hear this right now, and it's until next Thursday, the 11th. No, the 10th. It's the 11th, 12th. No, it's the 12th. Next Thursday is the 12th. That I am offering you this teaching call for free for the next 8 weeks if you're enrolling into the program, because I am also kind of connected like with affiliates with this affiliate link. So it's already something I would love to spend, but normally my teaching call participation is another 500. So you see that I will quickly go on this page, on the self-confidence page again, share it with you and share like also how the website looks like. So this is what you would this is what you're going to get. Oh, okay, yeah, this is why. Okay, so this is the self-confidence camp with Cleona O'Hara, and Don Green is his name. That is the CEO of the Napoleon Hill Foundation. So what does the self-confidence camp for $499 include? So you can book it here right away. And I'm also sharing the QR code because if you want it right now, you should do it right now. And again, sort of the offer stands that I am here for you during 8 weeks in a weekly call where you can ask me everything. So if you want to ask me about your confidence, if your mindset, if you want to reflect that, this is great. I'm a great interviewer. As you know, I'm always asking the right question because I can feel you. But on the other hand, if you like, I am happy to test with you, like what's your best setup, how do you look great on camera, how can you reach out. So it's a absolutely inclusive call, and so ask me everything. And here is what you get from the Napoleon Hill Institute for the self-confidence camp when you enroll. So first you have 8 powerful transformative video lessons that are on these subjects that I have just been talking about. So like from like your self-image, like including everything, definitiveness of purpose, finding your why, ghosts of fear, rewriting your story, letting go and forgiveness, your new image, your new self-image, the law of attraction and faith. Absolutely great lessons from Cleona O'Hara, Scott Edwards at the Institute, and the absolute super hot guy topics, and absolutely diligent, hardworking, and knowledgeable people and leaders that will do this class for you. Then you have a full VIP guest speaker video library, Q&A, special Q&A with billionaires here, recordings with a lifelong access and access to the Facebook group, I would say Facebook group and community. So if it's like on faith and if it's like on self-confidence, it's like should be absolutely on a faithful thing as well. And so here you have also the writing of what this camp is about, what the top subjects are, and let me just if I can show you then maybe I will do this in a separate video that I'm showing you how the videos look like. They are really cool. Also, if you want to know more, it is fantastic. I have really no doubt that I have like all the faith that if you are taking this, that this will be an absolute game changer for you this year, 2023. That we are bringing you like really some levels higher when it comes to your first ability to be confident on camera, but also confidence as a whole. And I have to say, I'm here now with my proposal. I am the only live video expert out there that combines the two points of view. There are a lot of great people out there. They have all great skills. They have the absolute, maybe they are even photographers. They have the eye on how it has to look like. I believe that it is great to have the best possible quality, to have your iPhone or whatever, your great camera. I also have an SLR camera to look well, to feel good. It's like wearing great clothes, and you will see the most successful people also have a lifestyle that includes that they are not walking around in flip-flops all the time, that they are also dressing in the way, they're feeling the way, that they are, well, yeah, attracting the business to them, how they want to feel it. But on the other hand, this is something that includes the self-image, that includes the faith, that includes like that spiritual ideas in how, in this way, how can you attract these kind of this energy, and how can you develop this energy from within, that you have confidence, and how can you rewrite your program. So this is it, and this is my invitation, my standing invitation for you. And you know, there are great things coming out and out of this, and I am absolutely thrilled to work with you together and to help you becoming the success, the confidence, the confident person that you deserve to be. And you know what? No person that has done great things has done it in absolutely full confidence. Because if it would have been easy, and it would have been an easy thing, would have been done by somebody else, and already would have been done. So this is not the question. The question is, do you have the possibilities now, or you take everything together, you combine your force, and you're diving in. So I would love to be your associate here in this next 8 weeks, the self-confidence camp by Napoleon Hill Institute, like I would say featured by Daniel, Live Broadcasting Rocks. And so therefore also type in this address, live, like it, oh yeah, where is it actually? I've just let it out again. So it would be Confidence Live Broadcasting Rocks. Let me just again do it in a nice background as well. So you have all the possibilities to read it now. And so you can also log on. So do you read this here? Confidence.live-broadcasting.rocks. So this will lead you right to the page of like the confidence camp. If you would like to have the landing page, I'm happy to send it to you as well. How the confidence camp is advertised. It's a great possibility. I'm looking so much forward for the next weeks. And I can tell, I would like to share with you that we are already starting next Tuesday at lunchtime, 12:30 European summertime. And it will also be on Thursday. So I will move on in full faith. And this is absolutely, you know, this is also the beauty of live video, that it has been so like flexible, so dynamic the last times that I have done it. Like I have not prepared this for a long time, and so we are able also to move as quickly as possible. Yeah, if this sounds interesting, does it sound interesting to you? Do you have any questions? So looking forward to see you, and absolutely happy to to accompany you, to reflect you in the self-confidence camp, and looking forward also to seeing you in the next week of live broadcasting weekly. We will see like where we go, like if we are doing it like the same time. Next week I'm particularly on the road, so maybe I have to put it a little bit later, a little bit earlier. Let's see. But it was a pleasure to do this live video with you. Hopefully, some inspirational thoughts for you here, and like how to bring your camera in the best into the best way. Looking forward also to see you in the self-confidence camp. And in these changing times, I think it's the best thing to work on your confidence, to work on your mindset, and like yeah, to get like a new level of that. Wishing you a great day, and looking forward to talking to you very, very soon. Bye bye.